Welcome. This is a tutorial video to assess and enhance the Catholic identity of your school or organization. The Enhancing Catholic School Identity Project, or ECSIP, is carried out by a cooperation between the Catholic University of Leuven and the Catholic Education Commission of Victoria in Australia, along with other Belgian, Australian and international partners. The ECSIP methodology explores the Catholic identity of your school through the use of 3 scientific measuring instruments, each with its own type of graphs. This clip teaches you how to read the graphs of the post-critical belief scale. Reading graphs like these might seem difficult at first sight, but once you know the basics, it's not so difficult at all. The graphs of the PCB scale all have a light blue background color. Here you see the scale means graph. The y-axis on the left is scaled according to the Likert scale response options used in the surveys. From number 1, I strongly disagree, to 7, I strongly agree. The white line at number 4 is the turning point from rejection to approval. Around the white line lies a zone of doubt. The further the score raises up above the white line, the more respondents tend to agree with the belief style in question. The further the score lies beneath the white line, the more the respondents disagree with the belief style. At the bottom, you see the 4 cognitive belief styles: literal belief, external critique, relativism, and post-critical belief. To learn more about the content of the belief styles, watch the YouTube video that explains the PCB scale. In the upper right corner, you see the number of people this graph represents. In this case, we see the results of 88 respondents who participated in the PCB scale. Finally, we see the mean scale scores of these 88 respondents. These predict the tendencies in the population as a whole. When interpreting the results, it is important to examine the consistency between the scores and to be aware of the relations between them. It is necessary to interpret the pattern of the scores as a whole, instead of reading the numbers one by one. The meaning of a score is influenced by the other scores as well. Instead of putting people in boxes, every respondent gives a score for every type and contributes to the entire pattern. Merging the scores of a whole group results in a constellation of tendencies. The art is to interpret these as a whole. To every scale means graph belongs a second graph that breaks down the scores in percentages of approval and disapproval. Because of the colors, this percentage graph also has been nicknamed the traffic light graph. These 2 types of graphs complement each other by showing the same data of the same group of respondents, but in a different way. While the scale means graph summarizes the general tendencies, the percentage graph displays the underlying scores in more detail, namely their spread and overlap. Both graphs are each other's counterpart and need to be studied together. In fact, your eyes should move from one graph to the other and back again. Again, we see the 4 cognitive belief styles and the number of respondents. The y-axis has transformed into percentages from 0 to 100. The respondents are arranged in 5 categories with a distinctive color, as explained in the legend at the top. The 7 response options in the Likert scale are reduced to 5 categories in the percentage graph. This is how they correspond. The percentage breakdown on the right is an elaboration of the mean scores on the left. It shows how the answers are spread and allows us to see the percentage of respondents who agree or disagree with each of the 4 belief styles. Also, this graph makes clear how respondents with different degrees of conviction can simultaneously support or reject multiple belief styles. How do we read this percentage graph in conjunction with the scale means graph? The mean score of the 88 respondents on, for example, post-critical belief in the left graph is 5.9 on a scale from 1 to 7. On the right, we see that 47.6% of the 88 respondents strongly agree with post-critical belief, 41.5% agree, 8% neither agree nor disagree, and 2.9% disagree. These results make clear that a majority of the respondents prefer a symbolically mediated post-critical belief rather than a literal belief. At the same time, a small majority leans to relativism, which also handles religion in an open and interpretive way, but from a non-believing point of view. However, in this school, there is almost no support basis for strong criticism of religion. The overall pattern is that of a faith-filled school community that desires to foster a clearly Catholic learning and living environment that should be open, hospitable and supportive, and eager to receive and integrate also people with different identities and views, cultures and faiths. This concludes the PCB Scale. Thank you for viewing this tutorial. For more information, surf to schoolidentity.net and check out the other ECSIP manuals and tutorial videos.